Erica here at the Atkins-Johnson Farm and Museum. I'm in the beekeeping exhibit and it's time for our second bee-themed story time. Today's story is The Beeman by Laura Krebs and Valerie Sis. The Beeman. Here is my grandpa, who's known in our town as the Beeman. Here is his jacket with a zipped up hood that covers his face just the way that it should when he visits his hive as the Beeman. Here are his gloves made from cotton and leather, protecting his hands in all kinds of weather when he tends to his hives as the Beeman. Here is the beehive where all the bees sleep, tucked away in boxes called a shallow or deep, and then placed on a stand by the Beeman. Here is the smoker that calms down the bees, and a hive tool that opens the beehive with ease for a much closer look by the Beeman. Here is the queen bee who does her job well and lays tiny eggs in a six-sided cell. She's the heart of the hive, says the Beeman. Here are the drone bees with big bulging eyes and a large appetite supporting their size. They mate with the queen, adds the Beeman. Here are the workers, 10,000 or more, who gather the nectar and bring home and store in the honeycomb cells for the Beeman. Here are the house bees with swift-moving wings that dry up the nectar a worker bee brings and making honey for me and the Beeman. Here's the extractor, its clickety-clack, removing the honey from frames on its rack and filling up jars for the Beeman. Here's some of the honey returned to the hive. It's food for the bees to help them survive the long winter days near the Beeman. Here are the bees protected from harm inside the hive, huddled snug and warm. They'll be here next year, says the Beeman. Here is the wagon filled up to the brim with bottles of honey collected by him and brought to the house by the Beeman. And here are the muffins, all warm and delicious and dripping with honey from Grandma's best dishes. I'm glad that my grandpa's the Beeman. The end. Well, here in the exhibit, we happen to have the Beeman suit. Would you guys like to take a look at it? All right, let's go see it. This is a beekeeper's suit. It has long arms to protect him from the bee sting, all the way down, long pants too. He has his helmet, his veil so he can see what he's doing, but also to protect his face. And it comes down low with little ties so he can tie it up and the bees can't fly up inside. And remember the gloves of cotton and leather that we read about in the story? Here are the long gloves. They go all the way up and they crunch up here so the bees can't come down in your arm and sting you. So he's all protected with all of his gear. But what about the feet? Well, you wear your best closed-toed shoes and then you take some duct tape and you tape the bottom of your pants to your shoe so the bees can't fly up your leg either. So he's all protected when he goes out to his hive. Thank you guys for visiting with us and our beekeeper friends. We hope you're staying safe and well out there.